Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as they match up with the longtime Raven Joe Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
It's easy to talk about wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders. Plenty of honors in his arsenal. A two-time Pro Bowler, won a Super Bowl. He had 2018 cut short with an Achilles injury. But when he's healthy, one of the top receivers in the league, can play outside and also go in the slot and hurt a defense.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Check three.
On the counter, Lindsay. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Bring it.
Throwing here on first down, Flacco. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31.
Check 13. Check 13.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Watch 98. 98's the mic. All day. All day. 198.
They'll try to run with Lindsey, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. A break from the ground game here. Flacco. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown, Broncos. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Broncos are in for 6. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Steelers' all-time leading passer and 2-time Super Bowl champ Ben Roethlisberger ready to lead this offensive unit. And he's led them since his rookie year all the way back in 2004. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. He'll get that one complete to Connor. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go, T. Here I come.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Black 80.
Check back.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete right side to McDonald. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
He's an absolute oak tree in the pocket because he is so hard to get on the ground. Not as elusive as he used to be, but still, trying to get him down, tough for any defender. In that case, he's able to move just enough. Incomplete pass downfield.
And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 54 yards away. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Tight end left.
1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
The kick by McManus is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Oh, design run for their wideout. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there as that one is going to blow up in their faces. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
Here's Jordan Berry now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Broncos coming hard, and it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. In for the score. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Now McManus for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out come the Steelers. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive will start with Connor. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Roethlisberger into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Todd Davis. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Hey. You got 3. You got 3 down.
They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on 1st down? Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Flacco on the give to Lindsey. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Another run by Lindsey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
Right here.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. A 33-yarder from the left hash. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.